Good morning, lovelies. How are you all doing today? I hope you're well. I'm getting warm now. It has started off as a pretty chilly day. I'm going to go out in the garden in a second. I'll take you with me. Yeah, there's a really strong east-north-easterly wind. It's basically an onshore wind. The waves have picked up. It sounds lovely out there. But yeah, it's chilly. The feels like this morning was 6 degrees. It's May. Anyway, I'm having a real mixed bag day today. I'm cooking. So I had to think then what I'm doing. So cooking, I'm going to try and make, I think the plan is about 16 meals today, so mostly for the freezer, but also other things in between. I can't just spend the whole day cooking. So I'm just getting a curry underway, and I thought, well, it's the perfect opportunity to talk about this hob, this electric ceramic hob. I'm not a fan. Right, let me just, oh, and I've got some edamame. I've had to put my draining rack down here for a second to have you there. I had you here because I thought, oh, that'll be the perfect angle to show you cooking, but it was so dark. So I've moved you, you're in the kitchen window, or draining rack window. Yes, this hob. Okay, so first of all, the hood, you can see it's right at my head. I don't like it. It is definitely going to go. It doesn't actually extract to the outside, so it just makes a whole lot of noise. I'll put it on and you can hear how loud it is. It's horrible. It's like, stop. How do I stop it? There we go. Yeah, it's like a blooming jet plane taking off. So yeah, it's definitely going. Now people are going to say, oh, but what about condensation? What about ventilation? Well, you are right next to a window. Open the window. Yeah. But back to the hob. So one of the things to get used to, I'm used to it now, is the fact that when you've turned it off, it stays hot for a while. Certainly warm. So when my kettle has boiled, and I only boil enough water for the drink I'm having, for example, I can't put it back where it was because there's nothing in it anymore. I'm putting an empty vessel onto a hot plate. So, yep, remember that. Okay, fine. That's not a big issue. Right, let's get some stock in there. Oh, and timing-wise, for adding the mushrooms, I need to get the mushrooms chopped. We can chop and chat. Right, there's a couple of issues with this kitchen, which, I mean, you know, anyone who's been watching for a while will know how much I cook. I cook not necessarily every day, that's why I fill the freezer up, but I scratch cook everything. I cook my breakfast every morning, you know, I cook my lunchtime soup, I cook my evening meal. I do a lot of cooking. And so this is that thing of you live with a space for a while and you work out actually what doesn't work, what does work. So we all know by now the counter height. I mean, it's absurd. I've got trainers on today, which adds an inch. I'm so far above this, I have to kind of bend and squat to use the counter. So yes, counters raise up. But the other thing is space around the hob itself. So I've got barely 30 centimetres before the end of the sink, the draining board starts. That's where do I put anything next to the cooker? I'll just quickly show you the arrangement I've got on the go this morning. And it will be like this today. So I've kind of got that balanced there to give me a little bit of space, but then you can see there's just no space for anything there. Super annoying. So yeah, that's all, but this is all to do with, you know, when I redo the kitchen, which won't be for a while, it won't be, I have to save up apart from anything. I mean, the hood and the dishwashing can come out soon. Let me just get a lid on that. whilst I bring it up to temperature. I'll come to temperature in a second. So yes, when the kitchen gets redone, I'm going to leave the cooker where it is. It's the perfect space, you know, I've got the wall there. I don't want the cooker in front of the window. But the sink, that can all move down a bit, and yeah, I won't have that draining rack there. This will probably stay the same to this side of me, but it's getting more space to my right, because I'm right-handed as well, so I want things on my right to... It's just those kind of ergonomics. So move the sink along, raise the counter height, yay! The hob. So I thought when I, you know, back in London, because obviously I thought about this place a lot, planning on what I would do, how I would change things, and I thought, you know, pretty much straight away, I want to change the hob to a gas hob. I've cooked on gas for, I mean, pretty much all my life. The thing is, the electric hob, it is a more sound ecological choice. So all of my electricity is generated by solar and wind. It's all sustainable, it's all renewables, so it makes much more sense. I think I'm going to stick with the electric, even though I'm going to say it, I hate it. The issue I'm finding is it's just not nuanced in the same way that gas is. In fact, I was talking to a chef just recently, and we were talking about gas versus electric for cooking on, and he said when he moved into his new home, there was an electric hob, and he swapped it well, not straight away, but he swapped it as soon as he could, because he said cooking on electric is horrible. When I talk about it not being nuanced, what I find is I get a very hard boil, a really aggressive boil. So I want to turn it down to a simmer. And of course it takes so long to cool down to that simmer point. It's still hard boiling. So if you've got anything delicate in there, it's just turning to mush. So whilst I have to turn the temperature down, I have to move the pan off the heat completely and then move it back after, you know, a minute or so. Is it the right temperature now? Oh no, it's still boiling really hard. And then in another minute, it stopped boiling completely. So I'm not even getting a simmer. So I think, oh, I need to turn it up a bit. So I turn it up a bit, and then the next thing you know, it's a hard boil again. I know, first world problems and all that. But it's just, and I know everyone's going to say to me, oh, you'll get used to it. You'll come to like it in time. I don't think I'm ever going to particularly like it. It's that thing of not having the control with the knob. Obviously with gas, if I want to turn the heat down, I turn it down and it's instantly a smaller flame, therefore instantly a bit cooler. If I need to turn it off and it's instantly off. This carries on. So, I mean, yes, I am getting used to it. I don't think I'm ever going to like it. And I think it's just going to slightly take some of the enjoyment out of cooking for me, but there we go. I haven't found the perfect point. I think I've now found the perfect point for doing my porridge, although if I turn my back for too long it's hard boiling and I don't want that, but more or less. What I haven't found yet, and I've been here now, is it 6 weeks? Is the perfect point for sautéing onions and garlic before I make a soup or a stew, anything really. I would normally saute my onions for 7 or 8 minutes, somewhere thereabouts, so that they become lovely and soft, translucent, their juices start to flow out of them, and I'm salivating at the thought. I have not cooked a decent onion since I've been here. They either remain white and hard and horrible, or they just caramelise and pretty much burn. So yeah, it's challenging. I know, honestly, I'm saying it's first world problems. There are far, far worse things in the world, and at least I have a home and a cooker to cook with. Yes, I know, before any of the trolls have a go at me, but yeah, if someone said to me, oh, Vivi, I'd like your advice on hobs, a ceramic electric hob or a gas hob, I'd I'd say gas every time, apart from the environmental thing. Right, I need to chop the mushrooms, but first of all, I'm just going to pop outside, give you a little update on seeds and bits. Yeah, let's just pop outside. Oh, that's the recycling. And yeah, put something warm. I mean, I'm in a hoodie, for goodness sakes. Under my hoodie, I've got a long sleeve, that's still my thermal t-shirt, and under that a vest. Bonkers. I just looked at the clock and it's 10:30 already, but you can see how I'm getting little bits of sun. I get the first bit of sun on my chair at about 9:30, and these guys are still in shade, and then we hit shade now here, but by 6:30 in the evening the sun gets to just about there. And now, I know I said about siting the compost bin, put it where it's going to stay. I am going to move it, having, you know, lived with it for a couple of weeks now. This bed really is precious in terms of the sun, so the compost bin is going to get moved. It's going to get moved to just about there. It'll be a little bit awkward for emptying, but I want this bed for veg growing. Oh, I found, not Thomas, which one is the green one? Henry. I keep finding toys. But yeah, this shows how cold it's been. Look at my non-germination. That's Coco de Pampole. Finally, a couple are coming up. None in the, oh, I can see though there's a bit of heave. Yeah, there's one coming up. There's another. These were planted, or sown, should I say, about over a fortnight ago, getting on for 3 weeks ago. No spinach, chard's coming up. You know, this is my food. I need my food. A few more cocoa in here. Oh, there's one. But I'm showing you because I want to give you an idea of how cold it's been. Oh, yay! Finally, happy days. And then in here, you might not be able to pick them up, but that's a Cavolo Nero, doing quite a bit better. That's dazzling blue kale, and that's purple sprouting broccoli. But yes, despite, you know, keep hearing about heat waves in the UK. No, they're sunny days, and when the sun's out it's lovely, but otherwise, it's chilly. That's that allium of some description I left in. And then, oh, you can see I've done a load. I've actually cleared quite a bit more of this bed now. And in doing so, I did disturb the love in a mist, but I gently sort of moved them. I made sure their roots were free of weeds, replanted them in there, and they've survived. So yeah, still a bit more to go, but can't hear the waves now. Maybe the wind's dying down. I was, adjusting my hand. I was hoping to give you a sound of the waves. Oh, they were really crashing this morning. Anyway, that's where things are at in the garden. Just watching where I put my feet because the patio is still a tangled mess. That will be my next job. I'm working on the front garden a lot at the moment. But yeah, from there to there cleared, happy with that. Washing line, loving that. And finally some of these little seedlings coming up. Oh, I'll show you the indoor ones as well. My tomatoes. There were 2 in each module. They've actually got their true leaves now. There were 2 in each module, and what I've done is I've chosen the strongest one, and the weakest one I've just sort of snipped out with a pair of scissors. Don't try and pull the weakest one out because it will disturb the roots of the one you're keeping. So yeah, just snip it off with a pair of scissors. Now, I should just say as well, it's about, for me in my time, it's only about the 10th of May. But there's been so much going on, you're probably not going to see this till the beginning of June. So I know they're really, really tiny. I mean, they're tiny even for May, but better late than never. And then over here, again, not fantastic germination. So these 6, that's Waltham butternuts. You can tell, I mean, that one came first, second, third, fourth. But then over here, there's supposed to be 9 courgettes. And this isn't saved seed, this was shop bought seed. I don't save squash seeds because of cross-pollination. But really, I mean, that's pretty pathetic. So yeah, it's, yes, we've had sunshine, like we've got beautiful sunshine on them now, but it's not warm. Right, let's get back to the kitchen. I need to get chopping. What's interesting is I've got that pan on the go. So it's a kind of a bean and mushroom curry. That's what I happen to have. Oh, I've got edamame beans in there because, of course, doing the Sainsbury's order, they do frozen edamame. Yay! But literally from nothing was happening because the edamame were still. I took them out of the freezer sort of an hour ago to take the worst of the frost off them. So that reduced the temperature of the stock that I put in there. Chop and chat, Vivi, chop and chat. And it was doing nothing, and then I literally, from there, took you straight out into the garden. How long were we in the garden? 3 or 4 minutes. Coming back, walking through the kitchen to take you to the front room to show you the seedlings. I've come back into the kitchen and I can hear that it's hard boiling. And I had it on number 3. It goes up to 6. The dials all go up to 6. 6 is just for boiling the kettle. It's way too vicious for anything else. But yeah, so it's on number 3. Coming back through the kitchen, I can hear it's hard boiling. Just in that small space of time. So I've turned it down to number 2, and it's, would I call it a simmer? It's a hard simmer. It's like a hard Brexit. It's a hard simmer. Actually, I'm just going to turn it down to number 1 and see what happens whilst we're in here and doing. I'm going to take the lid off so I can hear it. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to leave it at number 2. The thing is, the beans and the chickpeas were all tinned, so they're already cooked. They only need warming through. Oh, this is what I mean. I vacillate every time I'm cooking now. Yeah, they don't need cooking through, but of course the edamame do, because they're not cooked and they have come from frozen. And as soon as I get these mushrooms chopped, they'll go in. I like to put the mushrooms in at the end so that they soften in all those juices, but they still have a little bit of bite. But have them in there long enough so that they start to darken the gravy, the juice, as it were. I don't know, that blooming cooker. I'll get used to it. I haven't used the oven at all yet, but that's it's not because I'm scared of it, it's just that's the habit that started in London when our fuel prices rocketed out of control. Was it 3 years ago? We've had 3 winters of it now, and I just thought, I can't afford to put the oven on, it's ridiculous. And that's not because, I'm, like, oh, poor me, I'm so poor. I said this at the time, friends who work for someone else, work in a sort of normal job, as it were, they kept their ovens off too, even though they're bringing home over $3,000 in their pay packet at the end of the month. It's like, nope, the oven's off. So I haven't tried the oven. All I've done with the oven is change the time on it so it's showing the correct time. because at night it shows up more, obviously. So when I'm on my way to the bathroom last thing at night to brush my teeth, the time was wrong. It was just bugging me. All those little teethie things that they just get sorted. I think I'm finally sorted out with, I had an issue with my fuel bill because they had the wrong start reading and they would not change it. Anyway, the emails got more and more, how to put it, firm from me. You know, there was no way. And also what I did, I'm just going to get a cloth. What I did was I did another meter reading for the same amount of time now to show my usage, to say, look, I've just used 10 units in the same time span that you're saying I used 56 units. They really, and they kept saying that it was an acceptable industry. The industry guidelines, they have an acceptable window of error. It's like, well, it's not an error. Well, it is an error. It's your error. I've given you the meter readings. You've put it down wrong, and you've charged me all this extra for gas. That wasn't even the reading when I moved in and had to swap back to my previous provider. That must have been a meter reading from 2, 3, 4 weeks before I moved in. Anyway, they have finally conceded because I did not give up. I think this is the thing. If you have an argument with one of these companies, you have to have your evidence, as much evidence as you can gather. Do some of the maths yourself, show your daily usage, etc., and do not give in when they say, oh, it's an industry-wide acceptable deviation or whatever. And so they have finally acquiesced and said, okay, well, if we credit your account with £30, will you shut up? Pretty much. They literally said, will you drop this complaint if we credit you with £30? And I said, yeah, I will. Because £30 is about what the erroneous charge is. I will drop the complaint. However, this complaint, this whole series of emails, it's there on record. So although I'm not going to pursue the complaint anymore, the complaint won't go away. It will always be there because I had to complain. Anyway, that's resolved. Good. So what else is on the menu today? Oh, I've got some thank yous to say as well. So also today I'm going to cook. So I'm doing, this is a mushroom bean chickpea curry. Oh, can't wait. Salivating already. I'm going to make a big pot of fasolada, my Greek bean stew that I love. I'm going to make my lentil and bean hot salad. So it's lentils, beans, spinach, tomatoes. It's a really, really lovely one for lunch. It's a really good one on busy days because it's filling, but also it just powers you for hours afterwards. I'm also going to probably do, if I can be bothered, my cashew curry. Stocking up the freezer, stocking up my belly. Right, some thank yous. Oh, there's a big thank you over there, which I'll have to get the draining board off. So thank you firstly to Michelle. Oh, and look, my radiator, I couldn't think of the word. Obviously the radiators are all off now because it's supposed to be. I generally turn my heating off at the end of March. I moved in here at the beginning of April. It was freezing. I think because it hadn't been lived in properly. So I've had the heating on for an hour morning and night throughout April. It's gone off. Might have to go back on, but in the meantime I've used that. I can put cards on it, although not this one because I haven't got a flat. So Michelle, that is an image of Miranda from Shakespeare's The Tempest. It's lovely, isn't it? Oh, of course, it's William Waterhouse is the artist, very famous. Is it at the National Gallery in London? Possibly. But she also sent me as a housewarming gift. They're so cute. These, let me take one out. It's reusable cloth makeup remover pads. So sweet. She makes these herself. They're lovely. Thank you so much, lovely. Yeah, can never have enough. Actually, I say that, I only wear makeup when I make a video, so 3 times a week. I was going to say, because there's 7 in there, she gave me 2 packets, there's 7, so that would be great for 1 a day for a week if you only do your laundry fortnightly. There's enough for 1 a fortnight. And then this came from Tracy, and I got it out, I was like, what the dickens is this? I couldn't work it out. So it's this big, it's canvas on one side and plastic on the other. But can you see there's press studs in the corner? So what the blooming heck is it? So there was a gift note in with it, and it said, saw this and thought of you, hope it comes in useful, congratulations on your new home, it was worth it in the end. You darn tootin' right it was, Tracy. And then there was a little picking slip or packing slip from, you know, the company that I don't like to mention with the smile. And it said, it's a potting mat. So for when I do my seeds and potting, I can put it on the table. I mean, I was using newspaper, but I can put it on this and save my table, or even, you know, if I have a garden table, if it's a nice wooden table, I might not want to be mucky on it. And I think the press studs, it must be that you can, hang on a sec, if you press stud the corners, because they're on all, you won't be able to hear, if you press stud all the corners together, that it just creates a bit of a lip to keep your muckiness controlled. I need muckiness control, thank you so much, Tracy. Also, my goodness, you lot, no more presents. No more presents, it's not my birthday. But Lolly, bless her, has sent, this is some scented drawer liners, scented with lavender. Oh, I've got to put the mushrooms in, hang on. I'm glad I remembered to put the mushrooms in. I'm also glad because, going back to it just now, even though it's on number 2, it had come back to quite what you might call a rolling boil. So not a really aggressive boil, but it's way more than a simmer. And I don't want mush. I want my beans and my chickpeas to still have bite to them. And the other good thing is I'm warming up. You see, when it's a really chilly day, organise your day around loads and loads of cooking. Yes, anyway, so Lolly sent these lovely drawer liners, really pretty. It's little carnations, I think. It's very William Morris-esque, isn't it? And my favourite colour, blue. I love blues. So, and I now have bedroom drawers, so I can get my drawer liners sorted. That's lovely. And then this arrived from Marie with some fabric, a book. So thank you to Marie in Canada. It's come all the way from Canada. Amy Tan, and I thought, I know that name. Of course, she's the author of the Joy Luck Club. It's called The Backyard Bird Chronicles, and it looks so charming. Let me do it this way so I can flip. It's got a lovely, it's not hard cover. It's not a paperback either, but it's got a lovely, feel to it. But you can see it's illustrated throughout. And I think it's just sort of, it's kind of observations of life, not just the birds, but her life. And the drawings are quite, some of them are quite, what shall we say? Oh, I don't know, naive. It's almost quite naive art. But there's just a lovely kind of immediacy about her little sketches. What I'm trying to say is they're not the most perfect bird illustrations, but like I said, there's that immediacy of what she's seeing and and ratty. So that will be I think that's going to be a really lovely read actually. The crime scene. What's moving there? It's the collective noun for crows is a murder of crows. Thank you so much, Marie, with a little note which I should keep as the bookmark. Honestly, you are all very naughty, all very lovely, but now it must stop. And then this one, which is massive, from Nikki. Nikki has been wanting to get me this for a long time, and I kept saying, no, I don't need it, I've got no space, you know, in London. And now I've got space, and it's going to be so useful. It is, oh la la, it's an Instant Pot. Oh my giddy goodness. Now when I opened it this, I pulled it out, I was like, and I was thinking, I'm sure Nikki's you're in America, aren't you? I pulled it out, and I was like, or are you French Canadian? It's all in French. Cooks with as much as 70%, or cooks as much as 70% more quickly. There's 13 programs, one-touch programs, 13 one-touch programs. Simple and safe. Simple and quick. Simple and safe. Anyway, it's not, there's also English. So it is a 7-in-1. It works as a, show you. It works as a pressure cooker, a sauté pan, a steamer, a slow cooker, a rice cooker, a food warmer, and a yogurt maker. I'm pretty sure there'll be tons of functions I won't use, but this is something I've talked about. It weighs a ton in the past. I've not even got it out of the box yet, and obviously I've thanked Nikki in person already. This is something that's probably going to get played with next winter. I've got a lot on my plate at the moment, both in terms of still trying to work. The shop, I've got a whole day for the shop coming up in a couple of days, and I think it's literally going to be 8 a.m. till possibly even midnight. So there's that side of life. There's obviously the building stuff, my flat stuff. I've got a surveyor coming for my windows soon. That's in the next couple of days, next week. I've lost track. But also just things like the back garden. You've seen I'm trying to get the back garden cleared and ready. The front garden is a nightmare. It's a tiny amount of space and it's turning into a nightmare. I'll tell you more about that another day, but that is taking so much time and work. It's unbelievable for excuse me, such a little space. So yeah, there's all sorts of things going on, and of course at this time of year I want to get at least the back garden. I want to get some food going. With the flat, there are things that I really need to get sorted and pay attention to. So things like learning how to use a new gadget, because I'm a bit gadget phobic. Yeah, it can wait till the winter until so much other stuff has been done and sorted. Did I set an alarm? Yeah, for the food. But the plan with it will be, and this is all about getting things through, you know, doing my food as frugally as possible, is to buy really large sacks of dried beans, chickpeas, what have you. And then once a month or so, I can have, because this, it serves up to, jusqu'à 6 portions. It serves up to, or I should have said, up to 6 portions. You might think, but you're only one person, Vivi. But whenever I cook, I always do, it's always a batch, so there'll always be at least 4 portions when I cook. But anyway, back to the dried beans. The idea will be once a month to cook, pressure cook, so it's quicker than on the stove, than boiling. I mean, you all know how long it takes to boil beans and chickpeas and what have you on the stove top. It takes hours. So to do a whole load of chickpeas in one go, get them cooked much more quickly, and then divvy them out into the equivalent portions of what would be in a tin can. Divvy them out, get them in the freezer. So they're cooked and they're, oh, hold on. I'm going to turn off, naughty me. I'm just going to turn the the hob off. Of course, that's going to stay hot for 5 minutes, and it's a Dutch oven which will stay hot for half an hour. So that's the other thing I'm adjusting to, is I always used to turn my cooking off 5 minutes, 10 minutes early in London because of the Dutch oven, but now is it sort of 15 minutes early because the hob will stay hot. You get the gist. Anyway, so that's the plan for the Instant Pot, is to do big batches, then they can go into the freezer, and then when I'm cooking on a day-to-day basis, just pull a portion out of the freezer, either defrost them overnight in the fridge or take them straight from the freezer and add them to whatever I'm doing and then bring it back to the boil, that sort of thing. I prefer to defrost them overnight in the fridge just because then there's less cooking time on the hob, or less warming through time on the hob. Oh, right, what's next on my... Oh, filling my fountain pens. I'll do that another day with you. Someone did say, can you show us how to fill fountain pens? Hang on a tick. I just wanted to check how long I've been talking, and I've been talking for way too long as it is. Far enough, that's it. I will show you filling the fountain pens another day because it's an ongoing process. It always needs doing. Right, I need to get back to... I need to look at my list because... yes, of course I've made a list, but the reason I've made the list is so that once I've got something on the stove and it's bubbling, then I go off and do something else. And I can't remember what all the other things are off the top of my head, but that's how my day has been mapped out for me, by me, just to make the most. I've got phone calls to make, I've got all sorts of things to arrange. I've got a rubbish collection to arrange for a big item because I don't drive. I can't take a big item to the dump, although actually it's for recycling, but I can't manage it on my own, so I've got to arrange that too. So yeah, it's definitely a day of, yes, get my freezer filled with yummy foods, yummy meals, but also, oh, hang on. That was my Postie. Oh, I love my Postie. John, he's always so, morning. He's so chilled. He has the most chilled vibe you can imagine. He's just like, yeah, here's another parcel. Here's some mail. Anyway, let's pull this out. Another parcel. I'm expecting. And, Sorry, I got completely lost. Isabella Tree. Wilding. So Isabella Tree. So this is that book, Wilding, that I read, not this book, a few months ago about rewilding of an area, a farm. But this one is an illustrated, it's a signed copy with a free print. Oh, that's going to get framed. It's illustrated by one of my favourite illustrators, Angela Harding. Oh my goodness, Angela, this is so beautiful, thank you. So, it's a beautiful book, Isabella Tree, Wilding, if you get a chance to. Oh my goodness. There's a card too, which I shall look at. What a beautiful and incredibly special book. So there's a little book plate has been pasted in with both Isabella Tree and Angela Harding's signatures. That's so special. So I've mentioned Angela's bought me a couple of fantastic books. There was the one, Rural Hours, all about Virginia Woolf, Rosamund Lehman and Sylvia Townsend Warner and their relationship with the countryside, moving to the countryside. Plus the one about women getting involved with the RHS training, but this is back in 1880 when women were... Anyway, yes, Angela, you are a very, very good book picker. Did you get yourself a copy at the same time? I hope you did. That's beautiful and one to treasure. Because she'd mentioned that there was a book on its way and I said, oh, I'm not reading at the moment. I don't have time to read. She said, don't worry, it's a dip-in book. It's going next to the bed. Right, I have waffled on for way too long today. So I'm going to, we'll do ink pens and all sorts of stuff another day. Because literally the cottage by the sea every day at the moment is jam-packed with stuff going on. So yes, we'll reconvene that can happen another day. For today though, it's cooking and phone calls and emails and sneaking some time with a beautiful book. I cannot wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. All right, lovelies, I will see you again really soon. Until then, please look after yourselves. Happy batch cooking to you. Happy if you've just got an Instant Pot. Happy getting to know it. I know it's going to be a learning curve, but I've promised Nikki I'm going to be a good student. I'm going to study well, but probably not until the winter when things have calmed down a little bit here. Crazy house. Oh, and that doorbell. I'll tell you a funny story about the doorbell another day. Another day. Deep breaths. All right, lovelies, until the next one, cheerio.